You're listening to Uproar, a podcast of the Akron Zoo that gives listeners a behind-the-scenes look at the zoo, our amazing animals, and the dedicated people who work here. With your Uproar hosts, Zach Berkey, Randy Thomas, Sam James, and Elena Bell. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Uproar.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Uproar, an Akron Zoo podcast where we bring the wild world of your Akron Zoo right to your ears. I'm Zach Berkey, Innovations Manager here at your Akron Zoo, and I have three wonderful co-hosts joining me here on Uproar. Howdy, everybody.
Howdy.
Hello.
Good day.
Why don't you guys just take a few seconds here to introduce yourselves?
Well, I'm Elena, and I'm the Senior Marketing and PR Manager here at the Akron Zoo. I'm really excited to go on a behind-the-scenes tour and give everyone an in-depth look of what we do here at the zoo.
Hey there. My name is Sam James. I'm the Special Events Coordinator here at the Akron Zoo. I'm thrilled to share with you each and every week something from animal adventures to conservation efforts. Together, we'll uncover the magic of what happens here at the Akron Zoo.
And hello, everyone. I'm Randy, the Akron Zoo's Talent Acquisition Specialist, and I'm here to add a touch of humor and insight as we explore the wonders of our zoo and meet some incredible guests.
Some of the guests that you might hear from in this first season are
Bob, our VP of Life Sciences, and he's going to talk about his conservation trips from around the world.
We're also going to be talking with one of our keepers, Jessica, who's going to be sharing a bunch of funny stories from some of our animals.
Linda, our Chief Operating Officer. She is one of our longest tenured employees here at the zoo, and she's going to take us through a little bit about the zoo history.
And then we'll talk to Julia, our horticulture manager. She'll tell us why plants are cool.
Kathleen, who's an animal care manager, and she'll be talking about how we've made a huge impact with a very tiny animal with the Portula Snail Project.
We'll also be talking to Brenna, who's our Occupational Health and Safety Manager, and she goes into what she does to keep all of us humans safe.
We'll talk to Autumn, our Senior Director of Education, and she'll go into detail about all of our exciting ambassador animals and what they do here at the Akron Zoo.
Doug Piakosh, CEO and President of your Akron Zoo, and he's going to reminisce about his time here at the Akron Zoo.
We also will be talking with Carlos, who is our Conservation Director, and he will talk about all the Akron Zoo's conservation initiatives.
Before we hear from any of our guests on future episodes, do you guys have any favorite stories about the Akron Zoo or our animals from your time here?
Ooh, me.
Okay, Sam, go.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
One of my favorite stories here at the Akron Zoo was one year when I was working Wild Lights. We had a very big choir come, and it was a rainy night, so not many people were coming. But since they were so big, I put them out in front of the entryway, because normally we'd have a little bit of a line so people can enjoy the song while they're listening. They were asking if guests had any song requests, and a family of four, 2 parents and 2 little kids, came up, and they're like, okay, hey, little girl, what song do you want to hear? And she was like super excited, I want to hear Jingle Bells. And then, so that was already super cute. And then the mom whispered to the choir director, hey, this is her birthday too. So everyone was like super sneaky and was just like, come jump in the choir, come sing with us. And then after they finished, they were like, okay, let's sing happy birthday. And then she was just like smiling and didn't know what to do. And then they decided to sing happy birthday in Polish too. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like it's an inside joke. But it was, it was very big and funny, and they're all dancing. And they're like, how old are you? And she's like, I'm 5. It was the cutest thing ever.
That's cool.
But yeah, I feel like she's going to remember that forever, at least hopefully. And our parents recorded it too. So
Cool.
It could be an embarrassing story later in life, which also brings me joy.
All right, one of my more memorable experiences when animal care manager Kathleen took us behind the scenes to kind of show some of the animals that she takes care of. And one of the animals that she showed us was the octopus. And all of my kids and my wife got to go up to the stepladder, and the octopus wrapped its arms around their arms. They got to touch and feel what an octopus kind of feels like. It's a really cool experience. In doing so, the octopus made a huge splash and splashed me with a bunch of salt water and drenched me while I was down, just kind of tried to take pictures of the kids touching the octopus. And I had to walk around the rest of the day just drenched in salt water.
So one of the best things about working here, Randy, is that we get to go home every night and tell our wives about how much fun that we have here at the zoo and all the cool things that we get to do. And I went home the one day and I was like, hey, guess what I got to go feed? I got to go hand feed the grizzlies. And obviously she was really not happy about that. But then she was really not happy when I went home and said, yeah, hey, I got to feed our lions too. And she was like, well, how? I'm like, hey, you know what? That's one upside to working at the zoo. But the best one for sure is when I got to hand feed Molly, our river otter.
That's cool.
She is the best otter in the world. That's a fact, not an opinion.
Hey, I don't disagree with that. It just happened to be a right place at the right time. I was actually in the otter building with the city of Akron. They were running lines for a camera we were putting up, and it just happened to be breakfast time. So the keeper was like, hey, you want to feed Molly? And I'm like, absolutely, I want to feed Molly. So I had to put on a mask and go in with gloves on, and I got to actually hand feed Molly the otter. So that was a lot of fun.
So you fed Molly the otter. You've done lions and bears?
Yes, correct.
Any other animals that you fed?
No, I haven't been able to yet. I've been trying to talk Keeper Mark, who's the head of our carnivore team, I think. I've been trying to talk him into letting me feed the tigers, but he won't go for it.
Yeah.
Fun fact for our listeners: you can also feed the grizzly bears and the lions with the Get Closer tour. End of ad.
Wow, that was a heck of an ad.
Hashtag sponsored.
I work in marketing.
Yeah, that's true.
So one of the cool things that I get to do working in marketing is I still get to make connections with our animals. And I had the honor of being the one who filmed Panda Palace, which is a very popular web show that we did as we introduced our red panda triplets to the world as we opened Wild Asia. And it was very popular. We had millions of views across the whole world. And when I went to film the very first episode, I had no idea what I was going to get and what to expect. But I walked in there and Lulu was like, oh, we're best friends now. And I am going to boop this camera constantly. And I'm going to be the center of attention. And you always need to pay attention to me. And look at me, I'm Lulu. So there was a moment where she walked into the next room, because they had multiple rooms that they can choose to be where they wanted to be. And Penny and Coco were a little unsure of me. It was some stranger danger. We got to know each other and that faded away. But that first stranger danger, they were like, I'm not so sure. So I was like, I'm going to set the camera down and back away to see if maybe they'll feel a little more comfortable. Lulu comes out of nowhere, runs between my legs, and then barrel rolls with my GoPro camera. And I then had to have a little bit of a tug of war with a red panda to get the camera back.
Oh my gosh.
And unfortunately, all you see is black on the camera, so that moment didn't actually come out even though I was recording. But I forever have a bite mark in my GoPro thanks to Lulu.
That's so cute.
But I also realized during this moment of tug of war and the constant boops that we had a star on our hands. And we were right.
Now that we've heard all these fun stories, we obviously know that Elena's favorite animal is Molly, I would have to say. Or is that...
You know, it kind of varies from day to day. I don't have a favorite animal. I have a favorite animal list. Molly is definitely high up on that. I love that otter. She plays tag with me every day. There might even be times where I'm actually like working. I know it's limited, but there are times that happens. And I'll be walking past the otter habitat and she's like, no, we will be playing tag right now. So let's play tag. So she definitely is up there. I also love Jackson, our grizzly bear. He is the biggest goofball ever. Sumini, our female tiger, is also pretty high on my list.
What's the bottom of the list? That's what I need to know.
The bottom of the list, people are going to be mad at me for saying this.
Controversial. First time.
Echo, our male tiger, we're not
sassy.
fond of each other. I know, but he snarls at me every time he
Those
sees
are
me.
smiles.
No.
He is
no.
smiling.
He smiles
at
at me every time I see him.
When he lunges
Are
at
those
you,
not happy smiles?
They're not happy smiles, Randy.
when he lunges,
like
he
to
wants to
think-
give you a hug.
Echo
I like to think they're happy smiles.
Echo can be a grumpy boy.
Well,
and
there's nothing wrong
he
with that.
definitely has something personally against me. So he's at the bottom of my list.
Well, he's raised on my list now, I think.
Oh, shocker.
I'm not sure if it's an Elena specific thing because I think he shares those same emotions with me. I have lots of pictures and selfies with him giving me lots of close-up smiles.
They're really not smiles.
They're smiles.
Yeah, they're smiles.
We're going with their smiles. They are. He is showing me his teeth and doing a big smile.
And Randy
Cool.
smiles back. He says,
I smile back and say, "Cheese, Echo."
you turn around for a selfie and he haunts you. He stalks you from behind. Well, in that case, I guess I'll jump to my favorite animal. I am a big fan, which is kind of a weird choice. I don't know if anyone really enjoys them as much as I do, but the white-naped cranes, I love those big, long birds. They have very long, I call them snoots. I know they're beaks, technically. And they have their big legs, and they have their own little personalities. Like the boy, who I cannot remember his name off the top of my head right now. Altan. And then the girl.
Lena.
Got her. Got her.
Got him.
But the girl was very shy, and then the boy was more of like
Yena.
Yena? Okay.
I didn't even have to look. I remember.
So yeah, Yena was really shy. So then, what's the Altan? You think I know this, how much I love him. But Altan was very much like more personable with the keepers and stuff. But when they were like put in the same habitat together, he kind of became like more like defensive and protective of her. So he's become a little more standoffish too. So it's like a cute little dynamic that they have. And then every once in a while, you'll just hear them clacking. They'll stick their beaks in the air and just go.
Wait, do that again?
That's for Randy's in the back.
For the listeners, can you do it one more time?
Yeah. But it's so cute because they stick their beaks in the air, they do their clacking, and then they take their wings and just go.
No one can see what you're doing right now.
Let me describe it.
Do we know, is it formally called clacking their beaks?
Yeah, I think it's called.
Is that
I
their,
actually
like-
do think it's
Okay,
what it's-
I'm asking it not out of criticism or
Yeah.
trying to make fun of you. I'm asking out of curiosity.
Well, it's hard to tell sometimes. It's
all the same.
That's why I'm clarifying.
They put their beaks in the air, and then they take their wings, spread them as far as they can, just kind of like wave them back and forth while clacking, and it's so funny. I love them.
Randy, who's your favorite animal?
Well, I always ask this in my interviews, like, do you have a favorite animal at the zoo? And so people ask me back, what's my favorite animal? So I've had a lot of time to think about what my favorite animal is at the Akron Zoo. And after long debates and a lot of thinking, I've narrowed it down to either the otters or the grizzly bears. Both are silly and quirky in their own rights, but if I have to choose between one of the two, I usually go with the grizzly bears because I feel like I'm more relatable to the grizzly bear, specifically Jackson.
Do you also play with your feet and sticks?
Although we have similar body shapes, I do not play with my feet. I don't know if I could touch my feet like he can.
Do you also weigh 750 pounds?
Close, 745.
Oh, all right. Since you have similar body shapes.
I didn't know Jackson had a six-pack. That's cool.
For our listeners, Randy is nowhere near 750 pounds.
I also like to just, lounge around and just be silly and goofy and take long naps and, just if you've ever seen Jackson and Cheyenne, Jackson will constantly kind of like poke the bear, for lack of a better phrase, with Cheyenne and annoy her. I feel like I enjoy doing that with my coworkers. I like just to poke people and annoy them, and not literally poke, but I like to just go around to people's cubes and offices and just kind of bother them. And I feel like Jackson does a good job with that with Cheyenne.
I can personally say that you are fantastic at that.
And
Yeah, you do a great job of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
All right, Zach, favorite animal, go.
So my favorite animal, I don't think is here anymore.
Then you can't have it as your favorite
But
animal.
it's still my favorite
bad.
animal.
No.
No. Okay, so my favorite animal of all time at the Akron Zoo is an animal that not many people probably even care about. But my favorite one was the wild turkey. Every time I go past the aviary, I'd have to find the wild turkey. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I enjoy drinking wild turkey.
Do you have a drinking problem?
I do. I don't know. I don't really have a favorite animal. That's the problem.
You have a VIP guest, and you have to take him to your favorite animal.
I'm definitely taking him to the snow leopard habitat.
Okay.
No doubt. I mean, that's probably my favorite animal here at the zoo is our snow leopards.
That's fair. That's a good animal.
Yeah.
Good animal.
Good animal. Good choice, Zach.
Let me hear your best snow leopard impression.
No.
Because they don't roar, right? They don't have
do not roar. They are one of the few big cats that do not roar.
They go, meow.
Yeah, it sounds
Go, bark,
very
bark.
They don't bark.
You know, I did say that my favorite animal was a snow leopard, but I actually did really like our wild turkey when he was here. But I also have a favorite animal inside of the aviary itself.
Cardinal?
No.
Blue jay?
No.
Oriole?
No.
Do we have Orioles in the aviary?
We do.
We do.
Sure do.
No.
Doves?
Nope.
Morning doves.
Yeah, we do have morning doves.
A woodpecker.
No.
Is it larger than a bread box?
No.
Well,
No one knows what you're talking about, Zach.
It's the robin.
the rob?
Yeah. I like the robin.
Red robin.
Yum.
Nope.
That was kind of fun, though. I liked having to guess a little bit.
Yeah, we should play a game with our guests.
Like what?
They're supposed to be these experts on animals. What if we made them guess what animal we're thinking of?
Like 21 questions?
Yeah, we ain't got time for that many questions, though, so why don't we make it 10?
10 questions.
Okay, let's call it 10 questions. Uproar's 10 questions.
There you go.
Wow, is
Let's
that?
practice right now on Randy.
Ooh.
All right.
my
So
favorite.
Randy, we're thinking of an animal. You're going to ask us 10 yes or no questions to figure out what animal we're thinking about, okay?
And you three have the same animal picked out.
We have the same animal picked out. We have fact checkers here to make sure that we're giving you the correct answers to your questions.
Okay.
All right?
Bet.
You're not an expert, but the people we're talking to will be. So
Your phone's an
we'll see how
expert.
this goes. Well, I'm kind of an expert holding the phone if you think about it.
Well, I'm an expert in Western movies, so.
And ask a question.
Ask a question, Randy.
Okay. First question. Is this animal here at the Akron Zoo?
It is.
Is this animal a mammal?
No.
No.
Is it cold-blooded?
Yes.
Is this animal in Komodo Kingdom?
Yes.
Yes.
Does this animal live in water?
Yes.
Is it Dory the fish?
No.
Nope.
No.
Is this animal smaller than a Komodo dragon?
Yes.
Yes.
Like the big Komodo dragon, not like
Yes.
Jasper. Okay.
I feel like your water question probably would have answered that, but
Yeah, you're right. Is this animal an octopus?
Nope.
Is this animal a fish?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You want me to guess a species of fish? There's like billions of them
That we have here at the zoo.
that we have here at the zoo.
Here at
Right.
Uproar, we reserve the right to change the rules any way we want to. So I say that we go ahead and give Randy a hint. So what's a good hint?
This animal reminds me of you.
I know. I was thinking that same thing. But
Yes.
I know how to
No, that's a
say
good one.
it.
That's a good one. This animal reminds us of you. That's why we picked it.
It's a fish. Mm-hmm. Fish, a clownfish.
No, but that would
would've
make
been really
sense.
good.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, my feelings would have been hurt. If
We
it was.
we should have went with
That's a really good
clownfish. So I will give you one more hint, and it's gonna give it away. I'm gonna give you one more
I
hint.
guarantee
Ready?
it won't give it away.
Kentucky Derby.
Is there-
Kentucky Derby.
Do we have a mint julep fish here?
Think of what races in a derby.
Kentucky Derby.
Horses? Seahorse?
There
There it is.
It's a
That's
pot-bellied
considered a-
seahorse.
The
That's
pot-bellied
considered
seahorse.
a fish?
Yeah. I was also surprised when the lady was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, wow."
It's a fit. They're
No,
fish.
it is. I looked it up. Yeah, it is.
Yes, Randy, it's a pot-bellied seahorse.
Well, that's hurtful. So as we wrap up this episode, this was our first episode here at Uproar. So we hope you have enjoyed listening to us and hope you tune in next week as we talk with our animal care manager, Kathleen, who's going to talk about how the Akron Zoo has made a huge impact with a very small species.
Uproar is a production of the Akron Zoo, produced by Vince Jeffries, scheduling and recording by Zach Berkey, sound mixing and editing by Caleb Morgan, researchers Zach Berkey, Randy Thomas, Elena Bell, and Sam James. Uproar is a weekly podcast with new episodes every Thursday. For more information on the Akron Zoo, visit akronzoo.org. For more information on Uproar, visit akronzoo.org/uproar.